Hey guys. There we go. I actually remembered this time. I always forget until about halfway in. Apologies about my voice. I don't know what's happened today. I don't know if it's because I've been talking too much or what it is. And I'm hoping, and I'm glad that Kristen's here, which means I don't actually have to lose it myself. So thank you so much for jumping on. I know there's a few of you that are going to be watching this as a recording, and that's cool. That's absolutely fine. So I am mega excited today that you don't actually have to listen to my voice for a change. You get to listen to Kristen Wyatt. And the great thing about Kristen is the fact that she's not actually in our upline. And this is why Q is so amazing, is the fact that you can reach out to a leader and they're there to support you. And she was instant. Yep, okay, cool, I'm there, I'm going to do this with you. So, and I love that. So Kristen is one of the very few people that's been selected to be on one of the council members in 2022, which is mega exciting. And she is a Ruby ambassador with Q Sciences. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to hand it over to you, my lovely. Let me get you unmuted and I can pin you. There we go.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. I don't know why you want to hear me talk because your accent is so cool. I literally just want to hear you talk all the time. Anytime I message, Steve and Joe or whatever, I'm like, I really hope they reply with an audio message. That way I can hear their cool voice. Anyway, but thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this. I mean, honestly, for me, it's such an honor. My baby is literally banging on my door right now. Don't worry, my husband's going to get him. But if you see him come in now, you'll know why. But anyway, for me, it's such a big honor because I remember similarly, some of the things that you guys are going through in your country and things that you're facing and whatever those might be. I remember being very new to Q Sciences. I joined in 2018 and being able to, I just realized I'm not the host, right? I think somebody was unmuted. I was going to try to, okay, you got it. I'm like, oh no, am I supposed to be doing something? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Look at that. She's giving me all the powers, you guys. I'm going to make it to where nobody is even allowed to unmute yet. Okay. Look out. I have all the power. Anyway, I joined Q in 2018. Okay. So I was here before there was ever, a hemp line in the States. I was here before really all we had was like the core, and then it was like everything was sold out anyway. So one time we made a challenge just on the vanilla shakes and an old product we had called fiber, and we're like, whoa, we're gonna sell a bunch of fiber and shakes and hope for the best, because that's literally all we had in stock. And I remember those things, and I get so freaking pumped when a new group like you guys that are eager to learn and eager to solidify your time and your space here in Q comes along and gets to kind of make your mark, because now is really that time. And I would say we probably only have about 3 to 3.5 more years of this really aggressive momentum, like what we, and some of us, keyword, I'll talk about that in a second, but the momentum some of us are experiencing. But I'm going to give you guys a little background on me, and it's going to kind of go into why I love talking to new groups like this. And by new, I just mean new in the timing of Q Sciences, right? You haven't been around for 5 years. This is still new in the timing. Even if you've been here a couple of years now, or almost 2 years, you still are new in that you guys are pioneering this whole entire country. It's just the truth, right? And that to me, I do not take lightly. I know so many leaders would just give anything to have the timing and the space that you guys have currently. But there's a couple things that you start to learn whenever you first join, and you see a lot of excitement happening and a lot of growth. And then sometimes the dust kind of settles. So for me, when I joined in 2018, I hit platinum really, really fast. So hang on one sec. Actually, I have some notes too. I want to make sure I have them kind of in front of me. So if I look off to the side, that's why I don't want to get a little sidetracked here, because I want to be respectful of y'all's time. But when I went platinum really, really quickly in about 90 days, which is like wild fast, okay? And then I only hit it that one time, fell right back down to gold, Then there was the momentum of another conference coming, the February one, hint, hint. And I went back up, hit platinum again, and then pretty much fell right back down again. I then stayed at gold and then even dropped back down to silver a few times and back up to gold, back and forth, for about a year and a half. Then I, over the summer of that next year, regained momentum, hit platinum again. And then it was all this momentum and excitement going into another conference, again, keyword, September 2020, and boom, hit ruby. And I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, it's so crazy, but only hit it once, went right back down to platinum after that, and then still sometimes dipped back and down to gold and back up to platinum, gold, but and that's where I am even today. And it's so funny because I went really, really quickly. And then I kind of fell back down and I teetered from silver, gold for a while. Then I ended up hitting ruby once. And then now I kind of teeter gold, platinum, gold, platinum, and so on and so forth, right? That I will never forget, you guys. The first time I was like falling backwards, I was like, ugh. I knew that I came from traditional business before this. I owned and operated my own company. So you would think I was a little wiser or more business minded, but apparently not. You get sucked into an MLM and poof, you're an MLMer. And I'm like, ah, and all the scarcity and crap. And I remember like texting Jake Spencer, like, oh my gosh, it's like PTSD. I'm just falling backwards. Like, how annoying was I? And then it kind of dawned on me through coaching and mentorship and through really like inundating myself into the Q Sciences culture. Everything they talked about was this is a business, this is a business, this is a business, this is a business. And even though it took me a long time, it finally clicked. This is a business. Wow, who would have thought? You know, I hear people say this all the time, but like, let's say McDonald's grew 35% every single month, they would need a new building for every single one of their franchise stores every quarter. I mean, it would be such mayhem. They wouldn't even be able to kind of keep it together. But of course, we know that doesn't happen. McDonald's, if anything, just kind of teetered and then even dipped down. And then for years, it actually went a little stagnant with so many fast food chains kind of popping up everywhere and kind of more high-end fast food, if you will. And then they kind of reinvented themselves and introduced breakfast all day. And it was like, oh my gosh, you can get a breakfast burrito at 4 p.m. Boom. And their sales kind of picked up. And then it kind of went down again and had some stagnant moving and, you know, kind of teetered, you know, leveled off, if you will. The dust sort of settled. And then they reinvented themselves again, innovated again, and decided to start offering fancy coffee type drinks, the McCafe, kind of like a Starbucks, if you will. And boom, the explosion again. Now, no owner of a McDonald's franchise would be like, oh my gosh, we opened up in this new space. We're so excited. We had a great couple of months and then it leveled off. Oh my gosh, I'm a failure. This system is broken. I don't care how many McDonald's franchises there are. The whole thing is a sham. The food doesn't work. The price point is too bad. Clearly, it's the company's fault because I know it can't be my fault. Or worse, I'm the problem. What am I doing wrong? And something's wrong with me. No, that doesn't happen. Because actually, the people spending all this money to invest to have a McDonald's franchise knows it's a business. In fact, they're kind of lucky if they even turn a profit in the first like several years. Okay. And for some reason in network marketing, in MLM, there's a disconnect. And if you don't move as quick as somebody else that you see, or if you go really quick and fall back or have an up and down season of growth, you think something's either wrong with the company and they should be doing more and this isn't right and blah, 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 and play the blame game instead of taking extreme ownership, or you attack yourself and overthink everything. Maybe I'm not doing something right. Maybe I'm missing something. What am I not doing? Let me now try to seek reassurance for every little move that I do. When in actuality, you could be doing everything perfect as to the best of your ability, the same as somebody else to your right, and they just move a lot faster. Because that's the beauty of this business. It's kind of the law of averages, but it's also has a lot to do with your credibility and your influence and the timing of where you're at. Ground floor is no freaking joke, you guys. When I say ground floor, I don't mean the buzzword ground floor. I mean like ground floor. We're in the freaking like basement right now. Do y'all have basements? Do you have attics, basements? No, just kidding. I went to like Canada, and it's like was so wild to me. I'm like, they have different thermostats than us. They have, I mean, I get it. Like a lot's going to be different, but I, being a typical like stupid American, I'm like, what? Things are different here. Anyways, moving on. My point is, there's ground floor and then there's like ground level where you're not even at the floor yet. You're like literally in the basement, like building the foundation. And everything you do shapes the culture. Every decision you make becomes a ripple effect snowball situation. And then cream rises to the top and a lot of people fall. It almost is like a freight train, you know, that's going so quickly and you're trying to grab onto the sides and like, but your hands are all callous and then it like halts really fast. And then like some people who weren't strong enough start falling off and just let go. And are like, oh, this is too much work trying to hang on to this freaking freight train going 100 miles an hour. So they just let go. And you have a second to like warm up and like, oh gosh, let's see how many more people we can get on this train. You grab back on and then boom, pick up the next thing, right? And that's almost like how it is. Only you guys are in this such foundational place, even if you've been around for a little bit. That doesn't take away the newness of what's happening in your country, because everything some of the leaders that are on here have been doing for this country and for you guys, these laying down of foundational steps that are so critical, they had it harder, I promise you, than these things or challenges that you think you guys are facing. Some of you guys have been around for a while and you can't let it go. Some of the things that happened. Guys, if I was still hanging on to the multiple silvers and golds that joined me in the beginning and quit because they couldn't stomach it, if I was still hanging on to those toxic people that tried to, you know, burn down the house on their way out, I would 1000% have never ranked Ruby. And I would 1000% not be on a council right now. No way in hell would I be. Because you got to let that go. They control them. You control you. You either want a piece of the pie or not. You have to get into a mindset of no chasing. You just replace it. Anyone who doesn't rise to the top, and if they can't stomach it and hang on to the train, and maybe you're one of those people, it's time to be replaced. There is not enough time in a day to therapize and spend time trying to motivate everybody to get on board. And if you're new, hear me say this, because you'll have this situation before where there's somebody you like so love and you want them to be a part of it and you're so excited for them to catch the vision and they don't. And it's freaking exhausting because you want it so much more than they want it for themselves. And they won't just do it. And it's exhausting. Well, it's exhausting because you keep trying to get them to do it. Stop. Don't chase, replace. We are responsible to our people. We need to inundate them into the culture. We need to show them the systems that we have. We need to show them how rare of an opportunity this is. But at the end of the day, guys, you have to learn to let it go. Let go of the negativity. Let go of the people that left. They've moved on. Why haven't you? We're all just stuck in last year. It's time to move on. Because if you're stuck there and the new people that are coming in, and maybe you're some of the new people that have sensed maybe that, the new people come in and they're like, what are they hanging on to? Why do they keep acting so negative? It's actually not that bad. It's because you're still in last year. If you instead decide today is day one, I am going to be a part of pioneering this country till the ends of the earth, I will do it, right? And you make that commitment and that decision today, then you have this rare opportunity to now set new and realistic expectations for anyone that comes in after you. And you can say, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I know you're considering this as a business, but this is no joke. It could take a long time for you to get your products. It could take a long time for you to be able to even get through to customer service. I mean, I don't even know. Half the company's asleep when we're having lunch. So it's just a weird kind of thing, but it's why they need us. We have to pioneer this. So if you're not up for the timing component of this, if you're just looking at all the frilly, things happening in other countries and stuff, and you don't want to be a part of what we're building, honestly, you might just want to be a customer. Or in fact, you might just want to wait a couple of years. Because if you want to wait a couple of years till I'm Crown Diamond and I have all of this like on lockdown and we have corporate, offices here and things like that, and you want to join a really established brand that's like a household name and everything is super seamless and all buttons are buttoned and every zip is up and we're good to go, you might want to wait a couple of years. But if you want to be a part of creating that from the beginning and get a piece of the pie with me, I'm just warning you now. It's not going to be easy. We have systems in place so I can make it pretty simple, but it's not going to be easy. And I only want to partner with you if you're going to have integrity and do this ethical and not chip me all the time. Because I need to partner with positive people that look at every, challenge that comes our way or every situation that crosses our path as just that, a situation that needs to be addressed and that you can always find the silver lining in. Now, guys, trust me, you can't BS a BSer, okay? I'm not saying fake it. I'm not saying like, what? I know, but isn't that so cool that we can't get our products because, ground floor. Yes, the mothership has to be solid and you have to decide. It's okay. I'm not saying to be weird and fake and not like admit that there are realities and challenges and situations that are happening all the time. But that happens. That's life. It's the rareness of the opportunity that you guys have that, to be honest, I am envious of. I can't tell you the grit I would have if I was on this team. I'd be like, oh, game freaking on. I would be so calloused from hanging on to that freight train. There's no way I would let go even when it came to a halting stop. They're like, you can relax your hands, Kristen. It's fine. We're stopped. We're going to get going in a second. I'm like, I'm not letting go. Heck no. That would be me. But not everybody has what I have, which is long-term vision. I can literally see it ahead of time and know that if I just don't quit, it's mine. See, because people don't actually fail in queue. I've never seen someone fail. Now, don't get me wrong. We fail every single day. I fail literally all the time. I'm probably failing at the Zoom. I don't even know what is this. I don't even know if this is landing or not, but I'm just going to keep going. My point is we all fail. But I'm talking about like failure, like, ooh, Q was a bad idea for her. That was a failure movement. No one actually fails. I've never seen a single person fail. I only see people quit. There really is no failing here because the problem is your issue is not whether or not you think that you can do it or your commitment level or your fear. That's not really your issue. Like, oh, I'm just afraid, or this, or that, or I don't know if I can make it. That's not really your fear, or that's not really your issue. Your issue is with time. Because your problem isn't that you're afraid. Your problem is that, well, this person's seeing success quicker. So now I'm second guessing myself and I don't think I can do it. So I'm going to quit. That's the issue. When really we know that everyone has different ratios. I could reach out to 10 people and only have one person even reply to me. You could reach out to 10 people and have 10 people join you that day. That's just the realities. I heard somebody tell me one time that you either pay the price for the life you lived before network marketing because you were more isolated or more introverted or didn't really remember birthdays and kind of didn't prioritize people and never really kept up with relationships. Now you're in the people business and you're like, this is an interesting industry for me, but here I go. And you're ready to grow and expand and be a people person. So you have to pay the price and it's going to take you longer. Or you're somebody who reaps the reward of the life you lived prior. You have maintained relationships. You do have credibility. People trust you. You're that mother, you know how to stay solid, right? They know you as a steady, trustworthy person. So when you do something, they trust it. Those people reap the reward when they first join. You just have to just figure out which one you are. And if you're one that's paying the price, how long can you hold out? How long can you do it? Because if it really was going to take you, let's say 3 years to hit the rank of gold, do you know any other job? I don't know how it works there, but in the US, I don't really know of any job and any amount of school that I could go through to get a job where I would get a $96,000 a year increase after 3 years from part-time work. No way in hell. Here it's like, a 2% raise if you're lucky. Once a year annual review, right? And that's still really good. And a lot of people are really grateful and have a good situation. In Q, what if it took you 3 years to go gold? That means it might take you your first year to go bronze. That might take you your second year to go silver. It might take you your whole third year till the very end when you finally go gold. But would it be worth it for $96,000 a year? I know it would be for me, right? I'm actually telling you guys right now, I hit Ruby once, but really I'm at like platinum pay, making 15,000 US dollars a month. It's been 3 years. It's worth it. Trust me. Ask my husband. I'm just kidding. But for real, kidding, not kidding. Okay. So you got to let go of anything that's happened. And if you're new, you have to latch on quick. Okay. Because the train waits for nobody. You're going to just fall off. It's not going to stop for you. I promise you that. Your upline might kind of pretend to stop for you because they're like, please, work. But eventually they're going to listen to me and they're going to hear me say, don't chase, replace, and they're going to replace you. So it's only a matter of time if you step up and demand their time and energy, right? So you have to embody the attributes of a leader. That means you have to actually order every month, right? Like basic things that I go over in my onboarding process. You want to order every single month. You have to be qualified for commissions. Yes, I know you may not have gotten your last month's package and you're like, I have to order again. Twitch. Yeah. I mean, when I had my traditional business, I didn't even turn a profit for a year and a half. So I think you can stomach a couple monthly orders while you're waiting for your first order to come in so that you're qualified every single month. Because you can turn a profit a lot quicker than I did it because it took me a year and a half. Okay. This is a business. So you have to come into it as a business owner, right? Get tools, get supplies, do whatever you have to do to make sure. But at the end of the day, honestly, guys, it comes down to embodying the Q culture and inundating yourself into it. You know, those 5 F's: faith, family, friends, fitness, and finances. Whoever you are inside is ultimately who you're going to bring in. So if you're not bringing in a ton of people that are positive or that have an abundance mindset, they're coming in broke and I don't think I can do this and really lack mindset and this and that, you have to ask yourself, are you operating as if there's more than enough? Are you still gossiping about some random ass person that left 2 years ago? Are you still complaining because, well, we didn't get the email? Because that's who you're going to attract. And trust me, it's way more annoying when it's somebody on your team. You don't feel annoyed at all with yourself, but trust me, when it's somebody on your team, you're like, oh my gosh, they won't work. They just complain. So who are you? Right? Because that's who you're going to attract. And it's about that extreme ownership. Because in this type of team and timing component at this point, there's going to be people even above you that maybe aren't going to be as invested as you are. And that's okay. It's not their responsibility. You have to have extreme ownership. If you don't like the way somebody's doing it or whatever, and you don't want to be coachable, fine, go figure it out. Or you can be coachable, you can try to plug in, but you want to know what I do? I came into Q thinking, okay, I'm not going to count on any sort of placements because that would be crazy. Like, talk about icing on the cake. I had pretty sure I have to build my own business. Like, whoa. So I didn't expect anything. And I came in thinking, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my hardest to always be my sponsor's strongest leg so that it wouldn't be smart for them to give me any placements in order to feed their family. It was like a challenge for me. So I'm like, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And then the second component was I was like, but I am going to show up and take extreme ownership and never blame them. and be consistent and super coachable. Even if I think they're wrong, I'm just going to be like, okay, and take notes. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to take everything you said into consideration. I seriously appreciate it. Take what you want, get rid of what you don't. That's fine. But I wanted them to know I was coachable and to see me as like a sponge, so that if one day I happen to fall in the leg of my uplines, maybe the weaker leg where they have to now start building 10 years later, I'll be the person they maybe think about and want to collaborate with, because I was so fun and easy to work with. Those are my 2 goals coming in. I was my upline's primary leg, where it was not smart for them to place under me. And I then received my first placement ever after 3 years, because I was that person that my leader needed and wanted to place with because of who I had been for the 3 years. And that was really cool. If y'all have ever gotten a placement, isn't that cool? It's like kind of fun. You're like, okay, I'm not doing all the work here. This is exciting. And it's icing on the cake. It's not guaranteed, in case you guys were wondering. So anyways, I know I'm kind of going on and on. I just feel so excited about this time, the space that you guys are in. I get it. It's freaking hard. All these freaking people in the US and their freaking lodge and their freaking events and then their freaking planes and they're hanging out with everybody and they're all friends and blah. And it's felt disconnected and it's felt kind of odd. And you guys have really had to muster up this like cultural steadiness inside of you. And that can't be easy, but it is going and will be worth it. You have to decide if you're in or you're out and quit this teetering thing of negativity or positivity. I don't even know. Maybe all of you guys are super positive. I don't know. I just know how I was in the beginning. So I'm preaching to myself here, really. And I want you guys to think about who Q is, embody it. Like, for example, you guys don't have the financial freedom movement. I have a big team in Canada. They don't either. But guess what? They talk about how the culture of Q is that they want you to make sound financial decisions. They don't want you to overspend. They don't want you to, spend beyond your means. They want you to be smart and do things in the right order to keep your family protected. They talk about that. They recruit because of it. They don't recruit because of the FFM because they don't have it yet. But they recruit because of the culture that FFM has created, because of the 5 Fs. And then they tell them, guess what? If we pioneer this thing, we will have to force corporate to bring FFM here. So let's make this big as quick as we possibly can. So I'm going to leave you guys with this because I'm so jazzed up about the timing of this, but I'm just talking and I want to be respectful of y'all's time because I think it's like late there. It's the middle of the afternoon for me. My kids are about to get off school. I'm like, hey, that's why I'm energized. Anyways, here's what we're going to do. I want to challenge you guys. At the end of the day, when all the dust settles and all the mindset and the long-term vision and the BS and the ups and downs, we all experience it. Here's what it really boils down to. It boils down to exposing people to this, because not everybody is going to be able to do it. And not everybody is going to be good at it. And not everybody is going to want to do it. You're going to get rejected a lot. Like a lot. I have like 383, I think, people on my like, sure, I was open and then they ghosted me list. Who does that, by the way? Who says they're willing to take a look and then just literally never looks? Like, I have 383. I just counted the other day. That's how I know the number. That's a lot of people, right? I'm like, just tell me no. Anyway, you're going to be rejected. You're going to be ghosted. You're going to have, that's fine. Look for the lookers. Quit trying to build a big mansion in the middle of a trailer park. Raise the bar and look for people that are business-minded that you can be honest with, and then go in and under promise, but over deliver. Don't promise them anything. Set very clear expectations. And the ones that hear you say that and they still want in, those are the ones that deserve your time. And those are the ones that you want to work with. Everyone else, let them know to come back in a couple of years, have that abundance mindset, be willing to turn people away, say, I don't know if it's the right fit for you because I'm telling you it's going to be harder than you think. And I want you guys to expose as many people to this, to Q, before convention. Next Friday, the 4th, okay, all mayhem is going to hit. Okay, a lot of craziness. You've heard the stuff that Jake's been talking about, Mr. Spencer and Mr. Mark Wilson talking about the things coming and the tweaks to the comp plans and the new products and the this and the that. And it's like so much my head is spinning. We know that in February and in September, those are the biggest months of Q year. So in order for you to capitalize, you can't wait until the 4th and then decide to start working. You have to compress timeframes, make a list, be bold, take all the fire within you. If you're in and you're ready to do this, and stay steady and let go of the past and move forward thinking about the 10 years ahead and the thousands of people that you're going to help. If you are in, compress timeframes and run. Run and run and run and run, and do not stop, and be unapologetic and ask everyone you can to come hear about this and edify your leader as if they're the Queen of England. And oh my gosh, you got to meet this person. And oh my gosh, you have to hear what they're saying. They're mentoring me. They're teaching me. They're keeping it so easy. Come hear them. Plug as many people into hearing someone else talk about Q as possible, and then let the chips fall. They're interested or they're not, they have questions or they're not, they want to be a customer, it doesn't matter. Sort and keep going. Because the goal at the end of the day is not to close ambassadors and close customers. All that happens on its own. Your goal is to expose people to this. And because you're in the space and time that you're in, you want to expose as many people as fast as humanly possible first, because that's what gives you the biggest advantage. And I am so envious of the fact that you guys have this like fire belly timing right now in this country. And I'm just so freaking proud and honored to be a part of it. So I think I'm host, and I think I have to pass it back to you, or not, or I can end it, or you can reclaim the host or something. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys letting me be on here. I hope I didn't talk too long.
Oh, no, honestly, you are absolutely amazing. I could not think of anybody else to deliver everything you just did in the way that you did. Honestly, it was absolutely incredible. And it was things that we all needed to hear. And we are at that stage right now in Europe where absolutely anything is possible. Guys, you've got to believe in yourself and believe in what we're about to do. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. I don't want to keep you any longer. It is 9 p.m. here or just after. So thanks again, everyone, for jumping on. I'll get the recording over to everybody in your team. So thanks again. Really appreciate you.
Thank you guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye.